Hi, welcome to Gospel with Greg. And in the video today, I'm going to be talking about the fruit of the Spirit. So, what the fruit of the Spirit is, and the significance and importance of it in Christian living. So, we're going to start off in Galatians chapter 5. This really tells us kind of in a straightforward way what the fruit of the Spirit is and the significance of it. And then there'll be a couple other passages and other parts of Scripture I'll read that further talk about the importance. So, Galatians chapter 5, verses 16 through 18. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth after or against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. And so our flesh is tempted to do things we shouldn't. It's tempted to do sin, but we should be led by the Spirit of God and not by our flesh. And what the Spirit wants is different and better than what our flesh wants. And so if we jump down a little bit to Galatians 5:22 through 23, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And so these 9 things listed are what the fruit of the Spirit are. And these 9 fruit of the Spirit are important because they bear witness that we are servants of Jesus and that the Spirit lives in us. And of course, we as people are flawed, and we're not always going to perfectly live up to all of these things all the time, but this is what we need to strive for. And we see more of why this is important for us to strive to walk in these things and embrace these things and seek God to help us embrace them. We see the importance of that in other parts of Scripture. I'll read a couple. The first is Romans 8, verse 11, that says, But if the Spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his Spirit that dwelleth in you. And then we'll flip over to Matthew chapter 7, verses 16 through 20, that tell us, and this is Jesus speaking, Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree shall bringeth forth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. And so, this passage, along with Romans 8:11, confirm the importance of the fruit of the Spirit, because together they tell us that the Spirit of God lives in us when we're saved, and that what Spirit we're led by will show. And so, demonstrating the fruit of the Spirit, walking in those, show outwardly that we're led by the Spirit of God, and really they show what we stand for, because we can say whatever we want, but is there evidence of that in our lives? And there are some people that'll make excuses to act hateful or ungodly to others without much restriction or discipline. Maybe they'll twist Scripture to try to excuse that and say God knows their heart, or I'm not perfect anyway, that's why I need the grace of God. And that's certainly true. Again, none of us are perfect, and we need God's grace. We are going to fall sometimes, but again, what are we striving for? We shouldn't use that as a reason of, oh, I'm just not going to try at all, or I'm not going to seek God at all to help me with these things. It's important for us to remember that Christ called us to witness to others and to seek God's kingdom first, and that involves witnessing. And so we should care about how we represent God, and a big part of that is through our actions. And so, it's important to remember that other people can't read our minds, and they can only see, what we how we act and what we say. And so that's important in how we conduct ourselves. And you know like I said, Jesus said in places like in the Great Commission to go out and witness to people. And that's part of the reason why the Bible tells us to show love to people. Because if we act ungodly and then we tell them about God to try to witness, they won't get the right message. And, there are some people, they draw a parallel between, people that serve God and people that treat them poorly, because that's the examples they've been given. And so exercising the fruit of the Spirit helps us, not defeat our own witness when we're out trying to, grow God's kingdom and do God's work. And so overall, the fruit of the Spirit bears witness to the Spirit of God that lives in us, and that we are led by the Spirit. And that, not only helps our own walk with God be more fruitful, and to be stronger, but it strengthens our witness as well. And so hope you found this video helpful, and until next time, God bless.